We do.
Mhm.
Moving on here. So I got some news here about Mercedes Martinez. And obviously, for those who've been watching Raw, has seen that Retribution, as bad as this group is down to just one woman. Before she came up there, it was her and me, and then she was only there where they did their promo, and that was it. She didn't do nothing else, and all of a sudden she just like disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to her. So then it says Mercedes Martinez no longer part of Retribution, and she says why. She just asked to be, you know, not a part of the faction anymore.
Makes sense.
And she's back on the NXT roster. And like I said, Mustafa Ali has shown that, you know, she's not part of, you know, the group, you know, at all. And for Fightful Selects, because I'm looking at Sports Kita website right now, and it said Mercedes was removed from the faction was that she personally requested it. There was a report talk of having a replacement member, but they decided against it for the time being. Good move by that because they don't need one. And she tried to do the Robert Stone brand stuff like that, but she asked to be it. She said it is believed that she extended her desire to no longer be part of the faction, and she was seemingly removed while other members signed new contracts. It doesn't really give me, like, she doesn't really give me a I would say great explanation about it. It don't really say anything, but I have a theory because, you know, I think.
What's your theory?
Well, I think my theory is probably not going to be concrete, but this is why I think, because I really think Retribution at first was a play off the George Floyd protests, because I've always said Vince McMahon is racially insensitive, and obviously this is in his mind because people were out there with the mask on, the Antifas were out there with the mask on, and everybody was rioting and looting in May and June of this year, and that's how rich people were sitting back and watching what was going on. It was no rhyme or reason, you know what I'm saying, but because there was riots all over the United States, not just Philly. Everybody want to make it seem like, no, there was riots all over the United States because of the anger people had. So of course you capitalize on what's going on, and that's how Retribution came off, because they weren't attacking no wrestlers. They was just doing dumb elementary shit. They was blowing up arson, arson stuff, doing power transmitter, marking their symbol on the thing, and people were taking like, oh, the BLM is a symbol of the hate and violence, which is not. And I did see on Mercedes Martinez's Twitter that, I'm not saying this, she's fully, you know, I'm not gonna say tell you what that woman does and what she doesn't do, but I'm gonna say, but she ride with, you know, she ride with BLM, and she, you know, understands the struggle of what's to go through, and her being Hispanic herself, you know what I'm saying. I'm not talking about one of those white presenting Hispanics like Bailey is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying, because, you know, you got two kinds. You got the straight Hispanics that, you know, people, you know, obviously people, you know, are prejudiced towards, and then you have the white presenting ones that you had to look twice, like, wait, but you're Hispanic. Like the Bellas, I would never know they have Hispanic until they said something.
Well, so you're saying they look like just white girls?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially when they first came, and then Brie Bella started looking more like Hispanic when they started talking about her dad. Bailey, I never know that she had that in her, because her last name's Martinez, I think, also like in real life. So, and she got a little cake back there, so, you know, it's come from somewhere. And then Seth Rollins, I think, got some Hispanic in him also. But it's just,
I just like how you just said, yeah, just because she's Latina, she got some cake.
no, you know, that's the wrong way to say it. Obviously, I'm just playing everybody. I'm not saying you got to be colored to have the cake back there. I'm just saying the cake back there. I'm just saying, but because you know, white woman got the cake back there too. But I'm just saying that you know, I don't know if she found the group or the angle kind of offensive, because there were some people out there that was like, okay, WWE, I get what you're trying to do because you've been doing this shit for years, and I'm like, and right now it's very racially insensitive, and then they now they turn Retribution to this whole cartoonish gimmicky type thing with Mustafa Ali, and they all wear these dumb looking masks like Hannibal Lecter and stuff like that, but it's gone away from what it was at the beginning, and or maybe it was a thing where she just looked at it and said, "This shit ain't gonna be going anywhere anyway."
It still ain't going nowhere. So
exactly, I'm saying, so you probably wanted to get out of Dodge, but that's just my theory. I don't think I'm probably thinking that she wasn't 100% comfortable with what the angle was portraying.
I mean, who would? Have you seen Retribution?
I have, but there are people out there who feel as though that's what we was out there protesting and fighting for. I'm talking about. I'm not sitting here saying I agree with the riots. I'm not sitting here saying I agree with the looting. I definitely don't, because all that does is affect your neighborhood and affects the people that live in your neighborhood who just trying to get by. But I will say I understand the anger. And it's kind of like, I think you feel the same way, where it's like, I understand the anger. And when it comes
the anger is understandable, especially when it's from somebody like of a, you know, or a different ethnicity that understands rather than just your own.
Yeah. Like when somebody can sympathize with you or understand what you're going through, or they can see that what you're going through is very unjust, and it's like you're angry with them. And I'm like I said, I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, man, they right out there. It's like people were angry at a time, and then what happened was you had people jump on what the anger was to capitalize on what was going on. Those opportunists, as they call them. Edge calls it the ultimate opportunity. That's what they were, the opportunists of what happened. So, I don't know. I think that it probably could have been the reason. I mean, she ain't say.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe she just said, "Hey, I'm not feeling this. Let me leave."
Yeah, or she probably.
And I guess.
Or she probably looked at it and said, I mean, she been wrestling since 2000, the early 2000s. So she probably looked at this and said, "This shit sucks." Mm-hmm. And I'd rather go back to NXT and make a better name for myself, because I'm not gonna get no screen time up here in the first place. Now, me, I understand she's been in NXT for a while already, but Mercedes Martinez can actually do her thing. And
that's even worse. We know who she is. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, the Retribution didn't do a good job building itself up anyway. But the juvenile actions at the beginning was showing it was a clear on the protest, a play on the protest. That's what it was.